So, ladies and gents, The Night House, directed by David Bruckner, written by Luke Petrowski and Ben Collins, starring Rebecca Hall. I had a fantastic time with this film. Now, it may be a step too far to call it a modern classic, but make no mistake, this is a very, very well crafted horror film. Now, I think that there will be a lot of people that will sit there watching this film as it comes towards its close and be a bit miffed somewhat by the ending. Now, having read some interviews with the writers and knowing that this film was adapted directly from a Hellraiser pitch and inspired by that Hellraiser pitch, that actually clarifies an awful lot of this film for me and also shows me why I like this film so much. But not only that, and we will get to the review of the film as well, but it also shows me that David Bruckner, Luke Petrowski and Ben Collins are the right men for the job when it comes to the new Hellraiser film, the remake, which is shooting currently. So yeah, I now actually have renewed, instilled faith in David Bruckner and such moving forwards with the Hellraiser franchise. I really like David Bruckner anyway. He did The Ritual, which I'm a massive fan of. I think The Ritual is a fantastic film. And one of the benefits, or one of the main pros of The Ritual, which carries over to The Night House, superb sound design. Now, I don't know whether that is just because David Bruckner, is very good with sound design in terms of directing, his production team or not. I'm not sure. But one thing his films have had in common is excellent sound design. So what's this film about? Well, we follow Rebecca Hall's character. She has just lost her husband of 14 years to suicide. He went out on the lake and he shot himself in the head. Now, obviously that's tragic, but it's not the main point of the film. The main point of the film is Rebecca Hall's character is, grief-stricken. It was incredibly unexpected. Why? Why would he do this? They had no issues. He wasn't depressed. It came out of the blue. And then her life starts to unravel because she starts to find out about another life that Owen had. She finds out about other women. She even finds out he built another house. A house that was actually reversed to the house that he built for her. Odd. Starts finding some occult items, some books, some statues, and strange things start happening. That's basically as non-spoiler as possible. Now, is it because Rebecca Hall is falling to alcoholism during this time, or is there a greater thing at play? Well, in my eyes, because it's inspired by Hellraiser and knowing full well that it was inspired directly from a Hellraiser pitch, I would say no, there is a malevolent force at play here. The nothing from beyond when we die was calling for her to return, I guess you could say. Now, I don't want to get too sort of heavily into spoilers. I'm not labeling this as a spoiler or a non-spoiler review. But it's just so well crafted. So again, in terms of the non-spoilers, this film is not really a slow burn. It does get into it pretty quickly. Now, there's a few interesting things. Rebecca Hall carries this film. She's really, really good. But not because she plays this sort of victim very well. It's actually because she plays this well-grounded woman really, really well. She's funny. She's sassy. I would watch her just go about her day-to-day life. She was funny. She's a great actor. Good God, is she a great actor. She really sells this. And predominantly she's interacting with nothing half the time, but when she interacts with individuals and people, she plays up the sort of drunk, grief-stricken woman very well, and she is sassy, great, funny, really, really good actor. Now, in terms of the writers and how they craft this sort of grief-stricken woman and I guess the slow unraveling of her life, that was well done. That was really well done. I was not guessing anything that was going to happen in this film. There was nothing in this film that I was like, oh yeah, of course, that's absolutely what was going to happen. There is not a moment where I thought that they were going to turn left and they turned left. Every single time I was like, oh, they're going to go right here. No, they turned left. Or they're going to go left here. Oh no, they turned right. Everything was quite unexpected. It was a really well crafted story. And again, the inspiration behind Hellraiser, you can see it, it's very clear as day there, but not as a Hellraiser ripoff. Again, you can watch this film and you can come to your own conclusions of the ambiguity that lies over it, but knowing that it's inspired by directly from their own Hellraiser pitch, that's when you go, yeah, no, yeah, I get this in a much deeper level here. You know, sort of interdimensional beings and cosmic entities and such forth. Now, sound design plays a massive part in this. There are periods throughout this film where music just suddenly starts playing, but it's not that horrible jump scare music moment. It's done well. It's done really, really well. And there's some moments where, oh my god, like, I'll just describe one scene. So she falls asleep, and then suddenly we're woken by like sirens and jingle jangles and stuff. And ordinarily you'd go, that's fine. Oh, good lord, in the cinema, this was very loud, and oh, it really gets you going. But then there's also just the sort of subtle silhouettes that are made out of things, you know, during their sort of walk around a house, you know, a banister in conjunction with a wardrobe. What does the silhouette make? Does it look like a human? Does it, you know, sort of is she drunk? Does it move? All that sort of play on the visual tone of the film there. Really, really well. I had such a great time with this film. This is a strong recommendation. The soundtrack is beautiful. The cinematography is beautiful. This is one of the better horror films I've seen for the last couple of years. Yeah, it really is. And I think the thing about this film, which I did quite like, is that if I'm looking at David Bruckner and I'm looking at what he makes, and I'm looking at this, I'm looking at The Ritual, this is completely different. Completely different. Completely different to The Ritual. But yeah, really, really, David Bruckner knows horror. I'm very impressed with this. I was really, really impressed. But again, the selling point was Rebecca Hall. She was staggeringly good in this. Staggeringly good. I'm not even sure how much this was made for. Because I can't imagine it was made for a lot. This film... No, there is no specific amount here. No specific amount announced. I know a company did buy distribution rights for like 12 million. So 12 million, I mean, we have to go for something like that. Oh, it was so good. So good. No budget. I can't find a budget at this point in time. I really enjoyed this film. Rebecca Hall sells it. I'll watch a lot more with her in it as a result of this. Strong recommendation. Strong recommendation. Lots to unpack. And I think go into it knowing that it's inspired by Hellraiser. I actually think you'll have a better time with it. Strong recommendation. Go watch it. It's a very good horror film. I watched Demonic and The Night House in one day. I'm very much glad I watched The Night House, because it was a good palate cleanser for the awful film that was Demonic. Let me know what you think though, if you've watched it, down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks so much. Take care.